Hey friends, this is Christopher Davis-Shannon, and this week I'm going to show you what I stare at every week when I talk to you. Get a lot of questions about video production, and I want to show you the system that I use and how I make this work in my tiny apartment. So let's just see what my view is. So you see that I just have my laptop up on my music stand, and everything else is contained on one single little light stand. I have my key light, my microphone, my audio interface, and my camera all just right here on one stand, which folds up neatly and goes in the corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take everything off of this stand, show you why I use it, how it works, and then how we put this all together into one final product. So naturally, we'll be filming the rest of this video on my iPhone, as this setup is all that I actually have for video production. I don't have backups or anything like that, so we'll have to deal with a little bit of low fidelity for this video. So obviously the heart and soul of the system itself is the camera. That's what really matters. I use a Canon M50, which is a nice mirrorless camera. It's also the most inexpensive mirrorless camera that they make. I use it solely for video. One of my favorite parts of this is that the screen actually flips out so that I can frame the video, because I do all of this myself. So being able to see myself in the frame helps a heck of a lot. Another thing, if you're going with any DSLR or mirrorless camera, is that if you're doing video work, it eats up batteries like there's no tomorrow. So I actually use what's called a coupler with this, so that it just plugs into the wall and I never have to worry about that, because there's days that I'm shooting video for hours and hours. Now the thing is, with pretty much any camera, this one included, the built-in sound is an absolute joke. What's on my phone is in fact way better than what comes through that camera. So I had an external mic for a little bit, but the preamps in the Canon themselves are very noisy. So I ended up picking up this Zoom H4N Pro, and I think these things probably came out a decade ago. But they're tried and true, they're robust, they work. So this has an XY pair built in, just a basic stereo interface, and I can run the output from here directly into my camera with the line out, as well as recording to an SD card on here, so that I have a backup of the audio in case there's any glitches or I overload the preamps in the camera, and that really, really helps. The other cool thing about this is that with the USB out, it acts as an audio interface, so I can use this for live streaming as well. And with that, when I stream, there's XLR inputs on the back here, and I'll generally use one of my ribbon mics to stream because it's a better sound. I don't really bother for the videos, but if I'm playing versus talking, I care more about how the actual sonic quality is. This is also just a great field recorder. This kind of comes everywhere with me. This is one of the best investments I've ever made as far as sound production. So let's look now at the lighting setup. So for lighting, this is it. This is my key light. It's just a basic LED light. If I flip it around here, turn it on, it actually has control over both settings on here. I run everything off of power adapters. I don't use batteries at all because this just stays in my apartment. So you can adjust the settings on here, how bright it is. The thing is, with any key light that you're gonna have, the lighting is going to be too harsh and it's going to wash everything out. So you need to diffuse the light. So I just have this little softbox that goes in front of the light, softens it up, and makes it not just blow me out. Sometimes I'll set up one of my old umbrella lights as well, just to wash out the background if I'm projecting things like cords and such on the back, but you don't actually have to do that. If you have a key light, you're probably good to go. Now this is kind of the real magic right here. This is a super clamp with a tripod attachment on it. This just goes in there. This hooks on the stand itself. And this is where my Zoom recorder goes, so that I can position that in front of everything else and also keep it out of the shot. One thing is, if you're gonna invest in a camera, invest in a good tripod head. I used a cheap one at first and nearly broke the lens on my new camera. So don't make the mistake I did. It's worth 30 bucks or so to get a very stable tripod head. So let's put this all together and just see what it looks like. So here's the setup, nice and basic when it's all together. As I said, just one basic lighting stand that cost maybe 10 bucks or so to throw this all on. And then you can see the camera and the audio are coming off of the super clamp. I have a separate little arm for the microphone. I do swap out this mic from time to time. And then my light is just on a little swivel up here so that I can change the positioning if I need to. I'd actually love to have this on a boom one day to get more positioning in here. But it's a very basic setup with pretty simplistic components, but really gets the job done and just packs up right in the corner. I can fold it up and just get it out of the way if I need to. So that's my humble little single stand apartment video setup. When I'm done recording, I put everything in Final Cut Pro, edit there, and upload right away. I hope this gave you some ideas for your own setup. If you have any ideas as to how to improve mine, I'm always open to them, so please leave a comment below. I'll see y'all next week.